Hello, I'm Ariane. Yung topic namin is about the four component units, which are the cells, tissues, organs, and systems. Yung component units, further didiscuss ng aming mga group members. So, yung topic na isi-share ko sa inyo is yung about sa cell, kung ano yung cell, yung cell functions, types, at kung sino yung nakadiscover ng cell. Merong apat na component units: cells, tissues, organs, and systems. Unahin natin yung cell. Ano nga ba ang cell? Sabi dito, a cell is defined as the smallest, basic unit of life that is responsible for all of life's processes. Ito rin ang merong pinakamababang level of organization sa kada life form. Meron din itong body's genetic hereditary material, at it compromises several cell organelles. Lahat ng living organisms ay made up of cells. So, sino nga bang nakadiscover ng cells? Noong 1665, si Robert Hooke na isang biologist ang unang nakadiscover ng cells or ng cell. Sinundan ito ni Anton van Leeuwenhoek sa pag-observe niya ng cells gamit ang isang microscope na merong higher magnification. Noong 1883 naman, si Robert Brown, isang Scottish botanist, ang nagbigay ng pinakaunang insight tungkol sa cell structure. Types of cells. Merong dalawang major types of cells. Ang classification na to ay based sa cellular structure. Ito ang mga prokaryotes at eukaryotes. So, lagi natin tatandaan, ang prokaryotes ay single-celled organisms. Simple at mas older siya kaysa sa eukaryotes. Wala siyang nucleus or any internal membranes or organelles. Best example nito ay ang bacteria at archaebacteria. Nagre-reproduce ang mga prokaryotes by binary fission. Yung binary fission ay isang form of sexual reproduction. Eukaryotes. Eukaryotic cells usually have more than one chromosome, which contains large amounts of genetic information. So, best na pagko-compare natin dito ay ang plant at animal cells. Sa plant cell, merong chloroplast, central vacuoles, at other plastids. Pero sa animal cells, yung tatlong nabanggit na meron sa plant cell, wala yon. Eukaryotic cells have nucleus enclosed within the nuclear membrane and form large and complex organisms. They can maintain different environments in a single cell that allows them to carry out various metabolic reactions.
Hello, I'm Mary Ann Beran Olarega, and yung part na ire-report ko is about the cell structure and cell organelles. So, according to cell theory, all living things are made up of cells. That's why yung cell ay defined as the basic structural and functional unit of an organism. So, yung cells, meron siyang different parts and structure. Yung tawag dun sa study of cell structure ay cytology. So, yung cell structure, binubuo siya ng individual components na merong specific functions necessary to carry out life processes. So, isa na dito is yung cell membrane. So, yung cell membrane ay present sa lahat ng cells. Siya yung nagpo-protect and nagsusupport sa cell. Siya rin yung nagpo-protect ng mga cellular components from damage and leakage. So, bumubuo din yung cell membrane ng wall-like structure between two cells, pati na rin between sa cell and its surrounding. So, siya rin yung nagse-separate ng cell from the external environment. By structure naman, yung cell membrane ay isang porous membrane na nagpe-permit ng movement ng selective substances in and out of the cell. So, next is yung nucleus. So, yung nucleus ang nagko-contain and nagpo-protect ng hereditary material ng cell, which is the DNA. So, yung nucleus, napapalibutan siya ng nuclear envelope na nagse-separate ng DNA from the rest of the cell. So, yung nucleus din ang nagsasend ng signal sa cell to grow, mature, divide, and die. Next naman is yung cytoplasm. So, cytoplasm is a thick, clear, jelly-like substance na present inside sa cell membrane. So, most ng chemical reaction within the cell ay nangyayari sa cytoplasm. So, yung cytoplasm, nagko-contain din siya ng mga cell organelles. Next is yung mga cell organelles na bumubuo din sa ating cells. So, yung mga cell organelles ay matatagpuan sa cytoplasm. So, one of the cell organelles is yung nucleolus. So, yung nucleolus ay rounded body within the nucleus na nagko-contain ng RNA. So, yung nucleolus din yung site of ribosome synthesis. So, involved din siya sa pagkokontrol ng mga cellular activities and cellular reproduction. Next is yung nuclear membrane. So, yung nuclear membrane yung nagre-regulate ng passage ng materials in and out of the nucleus. So, siya rin yung nagpo-protect sa nucleus by forming a boundary between the nucleus saka sa other cell organelles. So, next naman is yung chromosomes. So, yung chromosomes ay nagpe-play ng crucial role sa pagdedetermine ng gender ng isang individual. So, alam naman natin na each human cells ay nagko-contain ng 23 pairs ng chromosomes. So, next is yung endoplasmic reticulum. So, yung endoplasmic reticulum ay involved sa transportation ng substances sa cell. So, nagpi-play siya ng primary role sa metabolism ng carbohydrates, synthesis ng lipids, steroids, and proteins. So, yung endoplasmic reticulum meron dalawa. Merong smooth endoplasmic reticulum which does not contain ribosomes. Then, meron naman na rough endoplasmic reticulum which contains ribosome on its surface. So, next is yung Golgi bodies. So, yung Golgi bodies ay tinatawag na cells post office kasi involved siya sa transportation ng materials within the cell. Next is yung ribosomes. So, yung ribosomes ay yung mga protein synthesizers ng cells. Made up of RNA siya na matatranslate into proteins. So, next is yung mitochondria na kilala natin as the powerhouse of the cell. So, tinatawag siyang powerhouse of the cell kasi nagpo-produce siya ng ATP which is the cell's energy. Next is yung lysosomes or yung tinatawag nating cell's suicide bag because pinaprotect niya yung cell by engulfing ng mga foreign bodies na nag-e-enter sa ating cell and then tumutulong din siya sa cell renewal. So, dinadigest ng lysosome yung proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. Next is yung centrosome, which is the small spherical bodies na containing ng two cylinders na nagte-take part in cell division. And then last one is yung vacuoles which stores food, water, and other waste materials sa cell.
So, hi guys, ang i-report ko naman ay tissue. Tissue, group of similar cells come together to perform a common function. So, yung tissue, siya yung pinakatela ng katawan natin na kung wala yun, hindi makakabuo ng kidney, liver, at saka ng iba-iba pang organ. The type of tissue defines its function. There are four types of tissue: epithelial, connective, muscle, and nerve tissue. Histology: study of microscopic structure of tissue, cells, and organ. Epithelial tissues are thin tissues that cover all the exposed surface of the body. Nakakabaran tayo ng epithelial tissue simula sa outer layer ng skin natin hanggang sa body cavity, digestive and respiratory system, pati na din yung blood vessels and various organs. Epithelial tissue are classified according to the shape of the cell and cell layer. Simple epithelium consists single layer of cell that may be squamous, cuboidal, or columnar shape. Yung simple cuboidal epithelium naman, active siya sa secretion of absorption ng molecules kasi mas malalaki yung sukat nila kumpara sa simple squamous. So yung simple columnar, active sa absorption, nutrient, and secretion ng digestive enzyme. Usually matatagpuan siya sa lining ng ibang organ sa digestive system. Pwede mo makita ito sa small intestine at stomach. Makikita mo din siya sa ibang parte ng female reproductive tract. Sa pseudostratified columnar epithelium, meron lang siyang isang single layer ng irregular shape at saka iba yung size ng columnar cells. Yung stratified epithelium, marami siyang layer ng cell, kaya kung masugatan man tayo, hindi sobrang lalim ng sugat, nasa ibabaw lang siya. Sa stratified squamous naman, meron dalawa, keratinized and non-keratinized. Pag keratinized, ito yung nagpo-form ng outer layer ng balat na nag-a-act as waterproof. Kaya kung mapapansin, hindi agad na-absorb ng skin lahat ng tubig. Yung non-keratinized naman, kung yung una is waterproof, ito naman dapat laging moist para maiwasan yung pagda-dry out. Matatagpuan sa lining ng mouth, esophagus, and vagina. Stratified cuboidal, matatagpuan siya sa sweat gland, mammary gland, and ang function niya ay secretion and protection. Protection kasi diba ang advanced mechanism ng katawan natin is pag mainit, nagpapawis. So yun yung ginagawa niya para malesen yung heat sa katawan natin. So stratified columnar epithelium, makikita siya sa conjunctiva of eye, urethra, and ducts of some gland. And siya yung responsible sa protection and mucus secretion. Yung transitional epithelium, pwede siyang maging squamous, cuboidal, and columnar, or pwede silang mag-mix and allowed din to na mag-stretch and expand or mag-iba ng shape. Glandular epithelium is a type of epithelial tissue which cover the gland, both exocrine and endocrine of our body. Their main function is secretion. Both endocrine and exocrine gland produce their secretion through the glandular epithelium by special cells called goblet. Yung goblet matatagpuan siya sa mucous membrane, small and large intestine.
Connective tissue. From the word connect, ito yung mga tissue nagko-connect ng organ to another organ, and nagpo-provide din ito ng protection sa mga organ support, ganun. Ang 5 functions ng connective tissue ay, of course, binding, protecting, storing, transport, and movement. Mesenchyme, ito yung mga tissue na mostly found in undeveloped organisms like embryo na kapag nag-develop ay magiging connective tissue or mapupunta sa skeletal tissue including blood and lymph. While yung extracellular matrix ay isang biochemical process na napaka-critical sa ating tissue kasi ito yung nagbibigay ng strength, elasticity at nagge-generate ng homeostasis para sa ating mga tissue. Major components ng connective tissue. Number 1, ground substance. Ito ay shapeless, mostly composed of water, and may kasamang materials like proteins and minerals. Number 2, fibers. Ito ay nagpo-provide ng structure sa shapeless na ground substance. So, recap lang tayo ng cells. Pag sinabing blast, ito yung mga immature cells. Nagsisikret sila ng ground substance para sa forms ng tissue at nagiging sites naman sila kapag nag-mature na sila. So, dito naman tayo sa protein fibers ng connective tissue. Number 1, collagenous protein fiber. Ito yung protein fiber na nagbibigay ng strength sa ating tissue and cushioning, meaning parang shock absorber. Number 2, reticular. Ito mostly for support ng ating mga connective tissue kasi nga parang mesh-like structure lang siya. And number 3, elastic. Ito yung provide ng elasticity and flexibility ng ating mga connective tissue. Loose connective tissue. Ito yung tissue na most abundant and pinaka-common sa ating katawan. Under nito, meron tayong adipose tissue, areolar, and reticular. Number 1, adipose tissue. Kadalasan nakikita beneath the skin from the word adipose, meaning fat, nagbibigay ng heat or nagge-generate ng heat sa ating katawan. Number 2, areolar tissue, meaning ito yung mga tissue na nagsusupport sa abdominal cavity, and also ito yung mga nag-fill ng gap between organs at nagko-connect ng skin to your muscles. Number 3, reticular tissue. Yun nga, sabi ko kanina, mesh-like structure from the word reticulus, meaning little net. Ito yung mostly for support ng ating mga tissue. So, sa supportive connective tissue naman tayo. Under nun is merong cartilage. Mostly nakikita to sa ating mga buto, which is kino-cover niya and pinoprotektahan niya yung ating mga buto. Under ng cartilage ay may hyaline, fibrocartilage, and elastic. Ang most common type is ang hyaline. Pag sinabi namang fibrocartilage, ito yung mga cartilage na may thick fibers na kasama. And elastic, ito yung mga flexible na cartilage. Next is bones. Ito ay hardest connective tissue at nagpa-provide to ng protection sa ating mga internal organs. For example, yung ribs, pinoprotektahan niya yung lungs. And bone is vascularized, meaning madaming blood vessels na nakapalibot dito. Under ng bone is number 1, compact bones. Ito yung mga solid bones. Number 2 is cancellous bones, meaning spongy, meant for shock absorbing tong mga bone na to. Next is fluid. So, under ng fluid, meron tayong blood and lymph. Blood, mostly nagkikerry to ng mga nutrients and materials na kailangan ng ating katawan, especially yung red blood cell. And sa white blood cell naman is ito yung pumupuksa sa mga foreign substance na pumapasok sa ating katawan and yung platelets. Sa lymph, ito yung parang protection system ng ating katawan. Yun nga, meron tong white blood cell na pumupuksa sa foreign substances. Muscle tissue, responsible to sa movement ng ating katawan and thermal homeostasis, meaning for generation of heat. Under neto, meron tayong skeletal muscle tissue para sa locomotion and facial expression. Meron din tayong cardiac muscle tissue sa ating heart. And sunod is smooth muscle tissue for involuntary movements. Last is nerve tissue. Although lahat ng ating tissue ay may kanya-kanyang unique attributes, itong nerve tissue is ito lang tissue na may electrochemical signals with the help of neuron na kayang mag-transport ng information patungo sa different parts ng ating body.
Organs. It is a group of tissues with similar functions bonded together to create a structure that performs a specific function in the human body. Organs can be categorized into two. It can either be vital organs or non-vital organs. Vital organs. These are organs that are needed for a person to survive. Complications to any of these types of organs are life-threatening. There are 5 vital organs known in the human body: the brain, the heart, kidney, liver, and the lungs. Brain, known as the control center of the human body. It processes, creates, and sends nerve impulses, thoughts, emotions, and physical sensations throughout the body. The brain has 3 subparts: the cerebrum, cerebellum, and the brainstem. The cerebrum contains 2 halves, the right and the left hemispheres, which is connected by the corpus callosum. It is a large C-shaped nerve fiber bundle found beneath the cerebral cortex. Cerebellum is responsible for the muscle coordination and the muscle movement. It also maintains proper posture and balance. Brainstem. It acts as a relay center by connecting the cerebrum and the cerebellum to the spinal cord. Heart. A hollow muscular organ that is responsible for pumping blood throughout the body. In humans, the heart is roughly the size of a large fist and weighs between about 10 to 12 ounces in men and 8 to 10 ounces in women. The human heart has 4 chambers. The 2 upper chambers is the atria, and the 2 lower ones are the ventricles. Kidney. It is a pair of bean-shaped organs that helps filter blood and remove waste from the body. Each kidney contains about a million tiny units for filtration, known as nephrons, that filters waste to the urine and return filtered blood to the body. Did you know that a person can live with just one kidney? However, if a person is experiencing severe kidney failure, a treatment called dialysis is used. It will filter the blood until they get a kidney transplant or their kidney recovers some function. Liver. It is the most important organ in the metabolic system. It converts nutrients into usable substances, detoxifies certain substances such as alcohol and harmful metabolites, and filters blood coming from the digestive tract. This organ mainly produces bile and helps in the regulation of blood clotting, so that a person does not bleed too much and does not develop dangerous blood clots. It is also located in the upper right side of the abdomen, just under the rib cage. Lungs. It is a two sponge-like cone-shaped structures that fills most of the chest cavity. It works together with the heart to oxygenate blood. Its essential function is to transfer oxygen to the bloodstream during inhalation and the removal of excess carbon dioxide during exhalation.
So, hello, I'm April Mendoza at ngayon i-discuss natin yung non-vital organ. Bodily organ that we can live without. Ibig sabihin, ito yung organ sa katawan natin na kahit wala na or tinanggal na ay mabubuhay pa rin naman tayo. However, this does not mean that conditions affecting these organs are never life-threatening or dangerous. Hindi ibig sabihin na kahit tinamaan na yung organ na to, ay hindi na to delikado. Delikado pa rin to kasi many infection at cancer sa mga non-vital organs are life-threatening, especially without a prompt treatment. Some people, tinatanggal yung organ nila dahil sa disease or sa injury. Next is, due to a combination of evolution and medical advancements, countless humans have lived and are currently living without several organs that were once thought as of vital. So, sinasabing dahil sa pag-usbong ng teknolohiya, yung mga taong natanggalan ng organ sa katawan ay patuloy pa rin namang namumuhay ng normal. So, next, punta naman tayo sa example ng non-vital organ. First is gallbladder, a small pear-shaped organ that stores and releases bile. Yung bile, ito yung yellowish enzyme na pinoproduce ng liver para ma-help ma-digest yung mga fatty food or a fat digesting juice made in the liver. So, pag hindi kailangan yung bile sa digestion, nai-store lang siya sa gallbladder. However, yung mga excess cholesterol ng bile ay nagpo-form ng gallstone, which na binablock nito yung mga tiny pipes that move bile around. So, pag nangyari to, yung patient, mag-undergo siya ng removal ng gallbladder na tinatawag na cholecystectomy. So, kahit na natanggal na yung gallbladder, yung liver ay magpo-produce pa rin naman ng bile na necessary para ma-digest yung mga fatty foods. Pero, mas mahihirapan at magiging matagal yung pag-digest ng mga pagkain. Okay, next is the stomach, a J-shaped organ near the top of abdomen. So, alam naman natin yung main function niya is to store food and release it to the intestine na para yung intestine na yung magpaprocess ng food. So, bakit nga ba tinatanggal yung stomach? Tinatanggal ito as a result of a cancer or trauma. And then, when a patient has a full gastrectomy or yung removal ng stomach, ang ginagawa ng mga doktor, kinoconnect nila yung esophagus directly agad sa small intestine. Since this shortens the length of the overall digestive path, most people who undergo the procedure ay kailangan magkaroon ng changes sa kanilang diet. Kasi para meron silang limitation na hindi agad sa isang upuan, madami sila agad kakainin at mahihirapan yung intestine na i-digest to dahil wala na nga yung stomach na mag-i-store ng food. But in general, people without stomach ay perfectly capable pa rin naman sa pagkain at pag-digest ng solid food. With the recovery, people can eat a normal diet alongside vitamin supplements. My next is appendix. It's a thin tube about 4 inches long. Normally, the appendix sits in the lower right abdomen. So, yung function ng appendix ay unknown. Kaya naman tinawag siyang vestigial organ or useless organ. Pero may theory na nagsasabi na yung appendix daw ay nag-act as a storehouse for good bacteria, rebooting the digestive system after diarrhea at inases. Dahil doon, kasi daw, yung appendix ay na-surround ng lymphatic tissue. Kaya naman yung mga theories na yun, it has something to do with immunology and fighting off disease. Tapos, yung mga epekto naman ng pagkatanggal ng appendix is sa iba meron, sa iba wala. Dun sa mga meron, nakakaramdam sila ng bowel obstruction, stump appendicitis o yung infection due to retained portion of the appendix. A ticking time bomb. Sinasabing ticking time bomb siya kasi delikado pag pumutok na to sa loob ng katawan natin kasi magi-spread yung infection sa loob ng ating abdomen or peritonitis ang tawag daw. And then, possibly, life-threatening din to. Kaya naman nagre-require to ng immediate surgery para malinis agad yung mga kumalat na infection. So next is pancreas. The pancreas is a gland located in your abdomen, underneath your stomach. It's shaped like a large tadpole with a round head and a thinner tapered body. So yung two main function ng pancreas is exocrine function, isa yon na nag-help sa digestion, tsaka yung endocrine function na nagre-regulate ng blood sugar. So sinasabi nila na you can live without a pancreas. Pero pag natanggal naman yung buong pancreas, mawawalan din ng ng mga cells na nagme-make ng insulin and other hormone to maintain yung safe blood sugar level. Pero para ma-maintain naman to, after surgery, i-advise ka naman ng mga doktor na mag-take ng medicine to handle this function. And by the way, ang tawag pala sa removal ng pancreas is pancreatectomy. Tapos yung sakit ay pancreatitis or yung having gallstone as stone passes through and stuck in a bile or pancreatic duct. So additional info lang. Yung spleen ay important organ but not essential. If it's damaged by disease or injury, pwede itong tanggalin without threatening your life. Ang tawag sa removal ng spleen mo ay splenectomy. So, yung function niya ay kasi nag-i-store din siya ng red blood cells, platelets, and infection-fighting white blood cells. Involved siya sa body immune response and recycling in all blood cells. So, pag tinanggal yung spleen, nandito naman yung lymph nodes and liver na kayang i-take over yung function ng spleen. And additional lang ulit is yung skin as the human body's largest organ with a total area of 20 square feet. Ito yung nagpo-protect sa atin sa mga microbes and mga elements at na tumutulong din ma-regulate yung body temperature natin. Next is the smallest organ naman is yung pineal gland na matatagpuan sa near the center of the brain. Hindi talaga siya organ na katulad ng mga sa abdominal cavity. Ito ay human's body's smallest endocrine gland na nagpo-produce ng mga melatonin, ay hormone derived from serotonin na nakaka-affect sa kung paano tayo matulog, gumisek, tsaka sa mga reaction natin sa mga seasonal change.
And now, here are Ms. Baon, Mr. Perez, and Mr. Villaflores to further explain what is an organ system. Organ system are two or more organs that support a specific psychological function. The human body consists of 11 organ systems, each of which contains several specific organs. An organ is a unique anatomical structure consist of group of tissue that work in concert to perform a specific function. And here in Table 2, you can clearly see the 11 organ systems in the human body and their major functions. First on the list is the circulatory system. The organ components under are the heart, blood, lymph, vessel, and blood lymph. Major functions are to transport nutrients and waste products. We also have digestive system. The organ component under are the mouth, esophagus, and stomach and intestine. Major functions are to digest and to absorb. Next is endocrine system. Organ components are all glands, such as thyroid, ovaries and pancreas. Major function of these are to produce and release hormones. Next is immune system. Organ components are the white blood cells, lymphatic tissue, and marrow. Major function is to defend against foreign invaders. Next is integumentary system. Organ components under are the skin, nails, hair, sweat glands. Major function is to protect body temperature regulation. The next organ system are the muscular system. Organ components under are the skeletal, smooth, and cardiac muscle. Major function is for body movement. Next is nervous system. Organ components under nervous system are the brain, spinal cord, and nerves. The major function of these are to interpret and respond to stimuli. Next is reproductive system. Organ components under reproductive system are the gonads and genitals. Major function are, are the reproduction and sexual characteristic. Another organ system are the respiratory system. Organ components under are the lungs, nose, mouth, throat, and trachea. Major function of these are for the gas exchange. We also have the skeletal system. Organ components under are the bones, tendons, ligaments, and joints. Major function are the structure and support. And the last one is the urinary system. The organ compound are the kidney, bladder, and ureters. Major function are waste excretion and water balance. The first system is the circulatory system. Circulatory system, also known as the cardiovascular system, a vast network of organ and blood vessels that act both as delivery and waste removal system for the body. So nabasa naman natin kanina na ang isang organ compound ng circulatory system is yung blood at alam naman natin yung function ng blood sa ating katawan. Hindi na una is syempre nagdi-deliver siya ng mga nutrients na na-absorb ng katawan natin para sa galing sa mga kinakain natin. And second, yung pag-remove ng mga waste products such as example nun is yung carbon dioxide na dinadala ng blood natin papuntang dadaan ng puso papuntang lungs at nagkakaroon ng exchange doon ng deoxygenated to oxygenated. So, sabi rin dito, this hollow muscle is made up of 4 chambers. So, yung 4 chambers na sinabi is yung left and right atrium and sa taas and yung left and right ventricle na nasa baba. So, the rest of the circulatory system is made up of 2 independent networks that work together, the pulmonary and systemic system. So, alam naman natin yung pulmonary system is yung process ng pag-exchange ng deoxygenated blood to oxygenated blood. In short, yung process na nangyayari between our heart and lungs. Then, yung systemic system is yung process naman ng pag-deliver ng blood natin ng oxygenated blood papunta sa iba't ibang part ng ating body such as tissue, organs, etc. So, circulatory system disease. So, naglagay kami dito na ilang example. Unang-una is yung heart disease. So, babasahin ko muna siya lahat bago ko explain. Heart disease, a term that cover a wide range of diseases and disorders. Heart attack, the flow of blood to the heart is blocked. Stroke, the blockage of blood to the brain. Hypertension, high blood pressure causing the heart to work harder. Arteriosclerosis, the arteries become thick and stiff. Aneurysm, the damaged blood vessels that can lead to internal bleeding. So, unang-una, yung heart disease is under niya is yung heart attack, stroke, and hypertension. So, lahat sila connected sa sa heart. I mean, lahat naman talaga sila connected sa heart. So, una muna, yung under muna siya ng heart kasi based dito sa data na na-search ko na according to the study conducted by the DOH, in the span of 5 years, which is noong 2005 to 2009, 88,229 out of 100,000 Filipinos are diagnosed with heart disease. At yung heart disease na sinabi doon muna is yung heart attack, stroke, and hypertension. So, yun na nga. Tapos according sa pag-aaral naman ng World Health Organization noong 2018, nag-rank ang Pilipinas as 32 worldwide sa may pinakamadaming naitalang na namatay dahil sa heart disease. At ayon din sa datos 120,800 na Pilipino ang naitalang may nasabing karamdaman. So, ganun kadami. Then hypertension ay arteriosclerosis. The arteries become thick and stiff. Meron tayong iba't ibang reason kung bakit nagiging thick and stiff yung arteries natin. Una nabanggit dito ay because of the internal layer of the artery is damaged by either high blood pressure or build up ng cholesterol sa loob. Yun yung isang reason kung bakit nagiging thick and stiff yung arteries natin. Excuse me. Kaya pag naging stiff yun, mahirapan mag-pump yung heart natin na mag-cause naman ng hypertension. At once na nagkaroon ng blockage, mag-cause naman siya ng stroke. So next naman natin is yung aneurysm. Sabi dito, damaged blood vessels that can lead to internal bleeding. So, bisa na search ko, isang reason kung bakit nagkakaroon ng internal damage sa ating blood vessels is because of high blood pressure. So, once na high blood pressure, mas malakas yung pag-pump ng heart, mas malakas yung blood pressure doon sa ibang veins or arteries natin. Dahil mas malakas yung blood pressure, mas nadadamage yung inside. So, yun yun, once na madamage, nagkakasya ng internal bleeding. Digestive system. The digestive system is made up of gastrointestinal tract, also called the digestive tract, and the liver, pancreas, and gallbladder. Digestion is important for breaking down food into nutrients which the body uses for energy, growth, and cell repair. Digestion works by moving food through the gastrointestinal tract. Waste product of digestion pass through the large intestine and out of the body as solid matter called stool or poops. The small intestine absorbs most digested food molecules as well as water and minerals and passes them onto the other part of the body for storage or further chemical change. Hormone and nerves regulator control the digestive process. Additional information, hindi lang sa small intestine nagkakaroon ng absorption, meron ding nutrients na na-absorb sa large intestine. Yun yung sodium, potassium, chloride, and biotin. Sa small intestine, example lang mga na-absorb doon is yung calcium, phosphorus, iron, vitamin A, D, E, K, etc. So dito may makikita kayong parang box. Then nakalagay na doon yung organ, yung movement ng organ, digestive juice used na ginagamit doon sa organ, and yung bini-breakdown doon sa organ na yon. So una, yung mouth, tapos yung movement niya, syempre chewing or mechanical breakdown, tapos digestive juice, ginagamit doon syempre yung saliva na sinisikret ng parotid gland natin sa mandibular gland, tapos sublingual. Tapos meron din dong nabi-breakdown na starches. Tapos ngayon next is yung esophagus, yung movement na syempre wala kasi passageway lamang siya. Yung digestive juice na ginagamit doon, syempre wala kasi nga sabi ko passageway lang. Tapos yung nabi-breakdown wala din. So stomach, movement niya is upper muscle is in stomach relax to let the food enter and lower muscle mix food with digestive juice. So yung digestive juice na ginagamit doon is yung stomach juice. Yung nabi-breakdown naman doon is yung protein. Tapos yung small intestine naman, yung movement doon is yung peristalsis. Digestive juice na ginagamit doon is yung small intestine digestive juice. Tapos yung bini-breakdown doon is yung starches, protein, and carbohydrates. Tapos yung pancreas and liver naman, wala siyang movement, syempre, organ lang siya. Ang purpose niya lang is yung mag-secrete ng pancreatic juice sa pancreas at yung bile acid sa liver. So yung pinaka bini-breakdown nila is yung starches, fat, and protein. So, doon naman tayo sa disorders ng digestive. So, una-una is yung gastroesophageal reflux disease. So, most often present as heartburn but uncontrolled GERD or gastroesophageal reflux disease can erode the lining of the esophagus and lead to bleeding. The condition can also cause pain in the chest so extreme that it is sometimes mistaken for a heart attack. So, ano ba yung cause ng GERD or gastroesophageal reflux disease? Yung cause, ang pinaka-cause niya is by frequent acid reflux. So, it also affect people of all ages. Kahit baby ka pa o ikaw yung pinakamatandang tao din sa mundo, pwede ka rin magkaroon ng GERD. So, people with asthma are, are at high risk. Tapos, next naman is yung chronic diarrhea. Chronic diarrhea, tricky to treat because it can have so many possible causes. Infection often viral, and even parasite can also be to blame. Tapos yung sa chronic diarrhea, isang cause nun is yung malabsorption syndrome or yung food cannot be digested and absorbed. In short, di ka natunawan. Tapos next naman is yung chronic constipation. The typical defined as having fewer than 3 bowel movements a week for 3 weeks or longer. It may also be the case that stool are hard and difficult to pass. So in short, tubol yung tayo mo. So ano ba yung nagkakos nito? Ang cause nito is not enough water or fiber in the diet. Pwede rin naman yung resisting the urge to poop o yung pinipigilan mo yung mismo pagtae mo. And sa babae, pag minsan, ang cause nito, or madalas ang cause nito is yung overuse of laxatine o yung gamot na ginagamit mo pag meron kang constipation. So next naman is yung gastroenteritis caused by an infection either viral or bacterial in the gut. Bacterial infection can be caused by E. coli or Salmonella, while viral infection can include rotavirus or that infamous scourge of cruise ship norovirus parasite 2 can cause gastroenteritis. So, in short, paano ka nagkakaroon ng gastroenteritis? Bakit ka nagkakaroon ng gastroenteritis? Yung pagkain mo o yung pag-inom mo ng mga pagkain na nabibili mo sa kalye na meron siyang bacteria or parasite na pwede mag-cause ng gastroenteritis. Endocrine system. The collection of glands that produce hormones that regulates metabolism, growth and development, tissue function, sexual function, reproduction, sleep, and mood among other things. The endocrine system is made up of pituitary gland that produce hormones such as thyroid-stimulating hormones, prolactin, and growth hormones. Thyroid gland produce calcitonin and thyroxine. Parathyroid gland produce hormones such as parathyroid hormone that control calcium level in bloodstream. Adrenal gland produce hormones such as cortisol, epinephrine, and norepinephrine. Pancreas produce insulin that used to lower glucose in bloodstream. Ovaries produce progesterone and estrogen, which is both sex hormones. Testicles produce testosterone and androgenetic. So, nag-include kami dito ng some endocrine diseases. Una is yung diabetes. Maraming cause kung bakit tayo nagiging diabetic. Una, can be hereditary. Pwede nating namamana sa ating mga magulang or sa ating lolo't lola. Second naman is yung age natin. Pagtanda natin, paghina ng pag-produce ng pancreas ng insulin, pagtaas ng glucose level sa ating katawan. Then, nasabi rin dito is yung weight. Siyempre, yung overweight. Mataas ang cholesterol. Pagtaas ng cholesterol sa katawan, pagtaas ng sugar level. So, yung mga symptoms na nabanggit is yung pag-increase ng thirst, extreme hunger, o hindi pagaling ng sugat. Kung diabetic ang tao, napapansin nyo, hindi madaling gumaling yung sugat nyo. Kasi daw, once na mataas ang sugar level sa ating katawan, mas mahina ang ating immune system. Next naman is yung hypothyroidism. Dito, occurs when the thyroid gland does not produce enough thyroid hormone to meet the body needs. Nakaka-apekto ito sa ating metabolism, mental function, and energy level. Ang symptoms naman nito is yung fatigue, weakness, and constipation. Next naman is yung thyroid cancer. Once na may thyroid cancer tayo, nagkakaroon ng lesser production ng calcitonin. So yung calcitonin is yung pinoproduce ng thyroid kung saan tumutulong sa pag-reduce ng calcium sa ating bloodstream. Kasi once na mataas yung calcium sa bloodstream natin, nagkakos ng hypokalemia o yung paghina ng buto natin. Then next naman is meron din tayong hypoglycemia o yung sobrang baba ng sugar level sa ating katawan. Merong different causes nito. So una is yung nabanggit dyan sa PPT is yung medication. Once na nagme-medication tayo, yung gamot na yon is pinapababa niya yung glucose level sa katawan natin. Then si pancreas pa magpo-produce ng insulin. So sobrang dami ng insulin sa ating katawan. So sobrang bababa na yung ating glucose level sa bloodstream. Next naman is yung insulin overproduction. May cases na sobrang dami insulin na po-produce ni pancreas na hindi na sobrang enough na or sobrang labis na para doon sa glucose level ng ating katawan kaya sobrang bumababa. Then, nasbanggit din sa Google na ang excessive alcohol drinking is isang cause din sa sobrang pagbaba ng sugar.
Immune system is a complex network of cells and proteins that defend the body against infection. Ito yung mga immune system disorder. Meron siyang tatlo. Severe combined immunodeficiency, temporary acquired immune deficiency, and AIDS. Yung severe combined immunodeficiency, ito yung may hina yung immune system. Kunyari, kapag nagkasakit yung isang tao, parang madali siyang mahawaan. Parang di niya kayang i-handle yung isang sakit, kaya agad-agad siyang pinapa-hospital. Parang ganon. Is temporary acquired immune deficiency. Means your immune system can be weakened by certain medicine. For example, pwede siyang mangyari sa mga taong chemotherapy or other medicines that uses to treat cancer. Saka pwede rin siyang mangyari sa mga organs transplant who take medicine to prevent organ rejection. Next is AIDS. HIV, which causes AIDS, is an acquired viral infection that destroys important white blood cells and weakens the immune system. And it also can be spread by contact with infected blood or from mother to child during pregnancy, childbirth, or breastfeeding. The next is overactive immune system. First is asthma. This can make breathing difficult and trigger coughing and whistling sound when you breathe out and shortness of breath. For some people, asthma is minor nuisance. Sa asthma, ito yung dito na-triggered sa mga usok ng sigarilyo or sa mga alikabok, sa mga dirt. Next is eczema. Allergen causes an itchy rash known as atopic dermatitis. Atopic dermatitis is a condition that makes your skin red and itchy. It may be accompanied by asthma or fever. No cure has been found for atopic dermatitis. This is 3 common autoimmune diseases. This is type 1 diabetes. Type 1 diabetes, once known as juvenile diabetes or insulin-dependent diabetes, is a chronic condition in which the pancreas produces little or no insulin. Insulin is a hormone needed to allow sugar or glucose to enter cells to produce energy. Next is rheumatoid arthritis. This type of arthritis causes swelling and deformities of joints. And also, rheumatoid arthritis is a chronic inflammatory disorder that can affect more than just your joints. In some people, the condition can damage a wide variety of body systems, including the skin, eyes, lungs, heart, and blood vessels. Next is lupus. This disease that attacks body tissue, including the lungs, kidneys, and skin. And lupus can be difficult to diagnose because its signs and symptoms often mimic those of other ailments. Some people are born with a tendency toward developing lupus, which may be triggered by infections, certain drugs, or even sunlight. While there's no cure for lupus, treatments can help control symptoms. Integumentary system, the set of organs that forms the external covering of the body and protects it from many threats, such as infection, desiccation, abrasion, chemical assault, and radiation damage. An integumentary system consisting of skin, hair, nails, and exocrine glands, and by far the largest organ in the body. Next are the diseases of the integumentary system. First is acne. It's a skin condition that occurs when your hair follicles become plugged with oil and dead skin cells. It often causes whiteheads, blackheads, or pimples and usually appears on the face, forehead, chest, upper back, and shoulders. Next disease is herpes, result from infection with the herpes simplex virus or HSV. It causes sores or blisters to form or around the mouth or genitals as well as other symptoms. There are two types of HSV. The HSV1 causes oral herpes which usually affect the mouth and surrounding skin. The next is HSV2 causes genital herpes which is usually sexual transmitted. Next disease is psoriasis. Psoriasis is a skin disease that causes red itchy scaly patches, most commonly on the knees, elbow, trunk, and scalp. Psoriasis is a common long-term disease with no cure. Next disease is albinism. Albinism is a genetic condition where people are born without usual pigment color in their blood, and also so most people with albinism have very pale skin, hair, and eyes because their bodies aren't able to make a normal amount of melanin, the chemical that is responsible for eye, skin, and hair color. Next disease is sunburns or even skin cancer. Prolonged exposure to UV rays. Excessive sun exposure, even without sunburn, increases your risk of skin cancer, such as melanoma. It can damage the DNA of skin cells. Sunburns in childhood and adolescence may increase your risk of developing melanoma later in life. Muscular system permits movement of the body, maintains posture, and circulates blood throughout the body. Muscles are the only tissue in the body that has the ability to contract and therefore move the other parts of the body. These are the three types of muscles: skeletal muscles, visceral or smooth, and cardiac muscle. These are the diseases of the muscular system. Pylomyositis is an uncommon inflammatory disease that causes muscle weakness affecting both sides of our body. Having this condition can make it difficult to climb stairs, rise from seated position, lifted objects, or reach overhead. Next is dermatomyositis. It's an autoimmune condition that causes skin changes and muscle weakness. Symptoms can include a red skin rash around the eyelids, red bumps around the joints, and muscle weakness in the arms and legs. And this disease is most common in adults between ages 40 and 60 or in children between ages 5 and 15. Next is inclusion body myositis or IBM. Is a progress muscle disorder characterized by muscle inflammation, weakness, and atrophy. It is a type of inflammatory myopathy. IBM develops in adulthood, usually after age 50. The symptoms and rate of progression vary from person to person. Nervous system. Nervous system is a complex collection of nerves and specialized cells. known as neurons, that transmit signals between different parts of the body. It is essentially the body's electrical wiring. And these are the diseases of the nervous system. First is epilepsy. It's a central nervous system disorder in which brain activity becomes abnormal, causing seizures or periods of unusual behavior, sensation, and sometimes loss of awareness. Anyone can develop epilepsy. And epilepsy affect both males and females of all races, ethnic backgrounds, and ages. Next disease is Parkinson's disease. Parkinson's disease is a progressive nervous system disorder that affects movement. Symptoms start gradually, sometimes starting with a barely noticeable tremor in just one hand. Tremors are common, but the disorder also commonly causes stiffness or slowing of movement. Next disease is multiple sclerosis. Multiple sclerosis or MS is a potentially disabling disease of the brain and spinal cord, central nervous system. And this can make it hard for your brain to send signals to the rest of your body. Next is Huntington's disease. It's a fatal genetic disorder that causes the progressive breakdown of nerve cells in the brain. It deteriorates a person's physical and mental abilities, usually during their prime working years, and has no cure. Next is Alzheimer's disease. Alzheimer's is the most common cause of dementia, a general term for memory loss and other cognitive abilities serious enough to interfere with daily life. And Alzheimer's disease is a progressive disorder that causes brain cells to waste away, degenerate, and die. A continuous decline in thinking, behavioral, and social skills that disrupt a person's ability to function independently.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Baon and my first topic is all about reproductive system. According to my research, reproductive system is also known as the genital system. It is the biological system made up of all the anatomical organs involved in sexual reproduction. It is also a collection of internal and external organs in both males and females working together for procreation purposes. Male reproductive system consists of two major parts. First, the testes, where sperm are produced, and the penis, that carrying the duct for the transfer of sperm during copulation. The main external structures of the female reproductive system include the labia majora, also known as the large lips na nag-e-enclose at nagpoprotect sa external reproductive organ ng babae. During puberty, nagkakaroon ng hair growth sa skin ng labia majora na nagko-contain ng sweat and oil-secreting glands. Next ay labia minora, or also known as small lips, can have a variety of sizes and shapes. So, ang mga babae daw ay may kanya-kanyang sizes and shapes ng labia minora. Next ay Bartholin's glands or the greater vestibular glands. These glands are located next to the vaginal opening on each side and produce a fluid secretion. Clitoris, small sensitive erectile part of the female genitals. The clitoris is covered by a fold of skin called prepuce, which is similar to the foreskin at the end of the penis. Tulad ng penis, ang clitoris din daw ay very sensitive and can become erect. Additional information lang, a female can give birth to about 35 babies in a lifetime. Both the male and female reproductive systems have the ability to produce the smallest, sperm, and the largest, ovum, cells in the human body. The male and female reproductive systems of human beings are unique in their own way. Siyempre, di ba, magkakaiba din naman kasi ang pagkakakonstruct ng katawan ng bawat isa. Kaya unique tayo lahat. Due to its vital role in the survival of the species, many scientists argued that the reproductive system is among the most important system in the entire body. Why? Siyempre, for reproduction. Nagke-create din to ng life. Reproductive system ensures the continuity of human race on Earth, hence it's very important. So next, as you can see, here is the list of diseases that may occur in the reproductive system. First is prostate cancer. So sinasabi dito na ito daw ang common cancer na pwedeng mangyari sa mga kalalakihan. Usually, prostate cancer grows slowly and initially confined to the prostate gland, where it may not cause serious harm. However, while some types of prostate cancer grow slowly and may need minimal or even no treatment, other types of aggressive and can spread quickly. Yung cause naman nito ay wala ring malinaw na dahilan kung bakit nagkakaroon ng prostate cancer. Here are the 5 potential warning signs of prostate cancer. Mahirap pigilin or putulin yung urination. Frequent urination sa gabi. At nakakaramdam ng masakit na pag-ihi at medyo nag-iinit yung or nagkakaroon ng burning sensation during urination or ejaculation. Makakakita rin ng dugo sa urine or sa semen. Factors that increase your risk of prostate cancer. Ang una dito ay ang age. Sinasabi na mas mataas ang risk na magkaroon ka ng prostate cancer kung ikaw ay tumatanda na. Pangalawa, sa family history. Kung yung tito mo or pinsan mo or first degree sa family nyo ay merong prostate cancer, hindi imposible na magkameron ka din ng prostate cancer. Next is obesity. Obese men diagnosed with prostate cancer may be more likely to have advanced disease that's more difficult to treat. So next ay breast cancer. Cancer that forms in the cells of the breast. Breast cells begin to grow abnormally. So kadalasan, ang nagkakaroon ng breast cancer ay ang mga babae. Pero nagkakaroon din naman ng mga lalaki. Pero mas ma-limit or mas common ang breast cancer sa mga babae. So here are the signs and symptoms of breast cancer. Nagkakaroon ng pagbabago sa size, shape at appearance ng breast. Nagkakaroon din ng pagbabago sa skin, such as dimpling, and a newly inverted nipple. Also, a breast lump or thickening that feels different from the surrounding tissue. Factors that are associated with an increased risk of breast cancer. First, being female. Yun nga, tulad ng nasabi ko kanina, mas common na nangyayari yung breast cancer sa mga kababaihan. Increasing age. Your risk of breast cancer increases as you age. So pagtanda mo, mas nagiging mataas yung risk mo na magkameron ka ng breast cancer. Personal history of breast condition. Personal history of breast cancer. If you have breast cancer in one breast, you have an increased risk of developing cancer in the other breast. So sinasabi dito na if ever na meron breast cancer yung isang breast mo, hindi imposible na magkameron din ng cancer yung isang breast mo. Family history of breast cancer. If your mother, sister, or daughter na nag-diagnose na may breast cancer, but particularly at your young age, your risk of breast cancer is increased. So, sinasabi nga na pag meron cancer yung relatives mo, especially yung mother mo, sister mo, pwede ka rin magkameron ng breast cancer. Kaya mas minamabuting magpa-check up. Inherited genes that increase cancer risk. So, dito naman sinasabi yung pwedeng pagpasa ng mamana mo yung sakit ng mother mo if ever na may breast cancer yung mother mo. Kaya mas okay na magpa-check up. Lalo na kung may history ng breast cancer. So next ay ovarian cancer. Ovarian cancer is a type of cancer that begins in the ovaries. Signs and symptoms of ovarian cancer. Weight loss, changes in bowel habits such as constipation, discomfort in the pelvis area, and quickly feeling full when eating. So, mas mabuti pa rin na magpakonsulta sa doktor para mas maging sure kung meron ka ba talagang sakit or napaparanoid ka lang. Kaya mas okay na magpa-check. So, here are the factors that can increase your risk of ovarian cancer. Older age. So, habang mas tumatanda ka, mas tumataas din yung risk mo na magkameron ng ovarian cancer. Inherited gene mutation, katulad nung kanina, pwede mo rin itong mamana sa mga mother mo, lola mo, kung meron silang history ng ovarian cancer. And age when menstruation started and ended. Beginning a menstruation at an early age or starting menopause at a later age or both may increase the risk of ovarian cancer. So, yung nakalagay naman din dito is yung family history of ovarian cancer. People with 2 or more close relatives with ovarian cancer have an increased risk of the disease. So, meron pa din dito yung penile cancer, cancer of the penis, uterine cancer, cancer of the uterus, testicular cancer, cancer of the testicle, and last is yung cervical cancer. It is a type of cancer that occurs in the cell of the cervix. So, yung cervix, yan yung nasa lower part ng uterus na kumokonek sa vagina. Cervical cancer begins when healthy cells in the cervix develop changes in their DNA or yung mutation. Risk factors ay number 1 is yung many sexual partners. The greater your number of sexual partner, the greater your chance of acquiring HPV. So, yun nga, madali lang naman siyang maintindihan. So, next ay early sexual activity. Having sex at an early age increases your risk of HPV. Other sexually transmitted infections, having STI such as HIV, AIDS increases your risk of HPV. And smoking. Smoking is associated with squamous cell cervical cancer. So that's all, and thank you for listening. According to my research, respiratory system is also called the gas exchange system. It is the body getting rid of carbon dioxide and taking in oxygen. So, yung primary organ sa respiratory system ay ang lungs, which carry out this exchange of gases as we breathe. Human body needs oxygen to sustain itself. Siyempre, kahit 5 minutes man lang tayo mawalan ng oxygen, pwedeng magkaroon ng epekto sa brain cells natin, which can lead to brain damage or ultimately death. So, yung next naman is yung breathing. So, it's all about the movement of the air from in and out of the lungs. So, sinasabi naman dito na sa loob daw ng lungs, nagkakaroon ng exchange of oxygen para sa waste ng carbon dioxide sa pamamagitan ng proseso na tinatawag na external respiration. So, yung external respiration naman moves gases from outside of the body into the lungs, then the blood. While yung internal respiration naman na tinatawag is the gas exchange between the blood and the tissues. Sound production. So, dito naman papasok yung phonation. Yung phonation naman, isa siyang process kung saan nagpo-produce to ng certain sounds through vibration. When the chords are pushed together, air passing between them makes them vibrate and creating sound. Greater tension in the vocal cords creates more rapid vibration and higher pitch sounds. Lesser tension causes slower vibration and lower pitch. So, pag greater tension daw, ah mas mas higher pitch daw siya, while pag lesser tension naman, slow to at mas mababa din yung pitch nito. So, yung next naman is yung sense of smell. So, yung process naman ng olfaction ay nagsisimula with olfactory fibers na connected sa nasal cavities sa loob ng ilong. Next naman dito ay yung protection. So, yun, nagpo-protect siya from dust and microbes entering the body through mucus production, cilia, and coughing. So, mapunta naman tayo sa system diseases. So, unang-una dito yung asthma. So, ano nga ba yung asthma? Yung asthma kasi siya yung isa siyang kondisyon na nakakaapekto sa daanan ng hangin natin sa respiratory system at isang uri ng asthma ay yung bronchial asthma na nagdudulot ng kakapusan ng hininga or yung shortness of breath. Ano nga ba yung mga sintomas ng asthma? Syempre, number 1 dito yung shortness of breath, wheezing, pag-ubo, tsaka paninikip ng dibdib. Ano nga ba yung mga kadalasan na nagiging sanhi ng asthma? Pwedeng may bacterial infection or pollens. Pwede rin na may matinding polusyon or usok tas nalanghap mo. And pwede rin naman na genetic. So, yung next naman ay paano ba maiwasan ang asthma? Ang unang paraan na pwedeng maiwasan natin to ay yung pag-iwas sa mga matinding usok, malamig na hangin, at mga bagay na malalakas ang amoy. Makakatulong din for sure na magpakonsulta sa doktor upang matiyak ang mga sanhing nakakaapekto sa iyo tulad ng mga allergies. Bukod sa pag-iwas, importante din na may malakas na pangangatawan at may nakakamit na wastong pagkain. So, pwede rin tayong magkaroon ng mga infections tulad ng pneumonia, inflammation siya sa lungs, bronchitis, inflammation siya sa bronchial tubes, at yung common respiratory infection tulad ng flu or yung influenza. So, meron din tayong makikita dito ang tuberculosis. Isa din siyang sakit na may malaking epekto sa baga. Maaring maapektuhan din yung ibang bagay ng katawan gaya ng bones, brain, liver, and kidney. So, ang TB, alam natin na nakakahawa to. Pwede itong makahawa at maipasa kung ikaw ay nakalanghap ng mikrobyo ng TB na galing sa hangin or galing sa ubo or bahing ng may mga taong may TB. So, yung Yung kailangan naman natin tandaan sa TV, hindi naman 'to namamana or hindi rin 'to nakukuha sa pagpapagod, pagpupuyat, hindi rin na ipapasa sa paggamit ng mga utensils, and hindi rin 'to nakukuha sa kagat ng lamok. So, kung dati yung TB hindi siya nagagamot, pero ngayon naman, ah, puwede na siyang magamot. 'Di naman siya bababa sa 6 na buwang tuloy-tuloy na gamutan, and kailangan sundin din natin lahat ng payo ng ating doktor. So, meron nga lang 'tong mga side effects katulad ng pangangati ng balat, kawalan ng gana kumain, tsaka pamamanhid ng paa. Pero lahat naman ng side effects na 'to ay panandalian lang din, and 'di kailangan ikabahala. So, next naman is lung cancer. So, sinasabi dito sa aking research na yung lung cancer daw ay one of the most common and serious type din ng cancer. So, around 47,000 daw ang nadadiagnose na may lung cancer every year sa UK. So, sinasabi din dito na there are no usually signs or symptoms in the early stages of lung cancer. But many people with the condition eventually develop symptoms including pag-ubo ng may dugo, na may kasamang dugo, persistent cough, persistent breathlessness, and unexplained tiredness and weight loss. May mga types din yung lung cancer. So, yung isa dito is yung non-small cell lung cancer, tsaka yung small cell lung cancer. Yung non-small cell lung cancer, most common siya at naka-account na siya ng more than 87% of cases. While yung small cell lung cancer naman, less common siya and usually spreads faster than non-small cell cancer. So, that's all for today, and thank you. Human skeletal system consists of all the bones, cartilage, tendons, and ligaments in the body. And yung 20% daw ng body weight natin is from skeleton. Adult skeleton daw ay nagko-contain ng 206 bones, while yung children's skeletons contain more bones because some of them, including those of the skull, fuse together as they grow up. Yung adult eggshell skeleton naman, nagko-consist siya ng 80 bones. So, here are the other function of skeletal system. First is protecting internal organs from injury. Siyempre, paano nga ba ito napoprotektahan? By covering and surrounding them. For example, yung skull mo, pinoprotect niyan yung brain mo. And, for example, also, yung ribs mo, pinoprotect niyan yung lungs and heart mo. Next ay, bones facilitate movement by serving as a points of attachment for our muscle. Also, it produces blood cells and storing minerals and nutrients. For additional information, bones also serve as a site for fat storage and blood cell production. The unique connective tissue that fills in the interior of most bones is referred to as bone marrow. There are two types of bone marrow. Yung isa ay yellow bone marrow and red bone marrow. Yellow bone marrow, nagko-contain to ng adipose tissue and triglycerides stored in the adipocytes of this tissue and can be released to serve as a source of energy. While yung red bone marrow naman, production siya ng blood cells, and sa red bone marrow din napoproduce yung RBC, white blood cells, and platelets. So, yung common disease naman na nakikita sa skeletal system is yung fracture. Fracture is a broken bone, and kadalasan sa fracture, merong crosswise, lengthwise, in several places or into many pieces. And kadalasan nagkaka-fracture ang isang tao kapag napwersa niya or mali yung posture niya, ganyan. Kaya nagkakaroon ng fracture. So, lahat naman ay pwedeng magkaroon ng fracture. Pero mas mataas yung risk ng tao kung meron siyang brittle bones or low bone density. At para naman ma-prevent natin yung pagkakaroon ng fracture, kailangan natin mag-consume ng nutritious diet, including foods that are rich in calcium and vitamin D. Also, important to exercise regularly. So, next naman is yung arthritis. It is the swelling and tenderness of one or more of your joints. The main symptoms of arthritis are joint pain, stiffness, and typically worsen with age. The most common type of arthritis are osteoarthritis. 'Di ba, kadalasan 'pag nakakita tayo ng mga older people or yung mga lola natin, lolo, 'di ba makikita natin na medyo limited na lang yung mga movement nila kasi ano, puwedeng may arthritis sila and mas nagwo-worse nga 'to 'pag mas tumatanda ka na. So, yung last naman is yung spinal curvature. It is when the spine doesn't curve in its usual shape. So, yung spinal curvature, meron yang three types. Yung una is yung lordosis, or also known as sway back. Yung spine down niyan, naka-curve yan inward at the lower back. And while yung kyphosis naman, yan yung characterized by an abnormally rounded upper back or yan yung kuba. While yung common sa spine curvature, yung scoliosis, yan yung nag-curve ng pa-S or C-shape yung spine. So, that's all for today and thank you. Hi, I'm Vanessa Baon and my last report is all about urinary system. It is also known as the renal system. Nagpo-produce and nag-restore, also nag-eliminate din to ng urine. It works with the lungs, skin, and intestine to maintain the balance of chemicals and water in the body. Yung function naman din nito ay nag-filter ng blood at nag-create ng urine as a waste byproduct. Yung organ na meron sa urinary system ay yung kidneys, renal pelvis, ureters, bladder, and urethra. The body takes nutrients from food and converts them to energy. Yung major function lang naman ng urinary system is yung waste excretion and water balance. So, punta naman tayo sa diseases na meron sa urinary system. Unang-una dito ay yung urinary tract infection or mas kilala sa tawag na UTI. Ang normal na ihi or urine ay wala namang bakterya talaga. Pero hindi naman natin talaga maiiwasan na may makapasok na mikrobyo sa loob ng katawan natin na nagdudulot ng UTI. Maaari rin itong makaapekto sa iba't ibang bahagi ng urinary system katulad ng infection sa bato, infection sa pantog, at infection sa daluyan ng ihi. Tulad nga ng sabi ko kanina, kumpara sa mga lalaki, ang mga babae ang kadalasan nagkakaroon ng UTI dahil mas malapit ang urethra ng mga babae. Mga sintomas ng UTI: masakit na pag-ihi at madalas na pag-ihi, dugo or nana sa ihi, at nilalagnat and panghihina ng katawan. Mga sanhi naman ng UTI, may diabetes, paggamit ng birth control or at pakikipagtalik sa iba't ibang tao at iba pang uri ng bakterya tulad ng chlamydia. Malalaman mo naman na may UTI ka sa pamamagitan ng pagsuri ng ihi or yung urinalysis. Maiiwasan natin ang pagkakaroon ng UTI kung kakain tayo ng mga masustansyang pagkain at uminom ng 6 hanggang 8 basong tubig araw-araw. Pag-ihi at paghugas at magsuot ng mga pang-ilalim na gawa sa cotton at iwasan ang pagsusuot ng mga masisikip na damit. Meron din dito yung painful bladder syndrome. It is a chronic bladder condition, primarily in women, that causes bladder pressure and pain and sometimes pelvic pain. Next ay prostatitis, swelling of the prostate gland and therefore can only occur in men. Next ay yung kidney stones. Kidney stones form when your urine contains more crystal-forming substances such as calcium oxalate and uric acid. Sinasabi rin dito na kapag yung urine daw ay may high level ng mineral at ng salts, pwede itong maka-form ng stones. So next naman is yung kidney failure or also called the renal failure and chronic kidney disease. It can be a temporary condition or can become a chronic condition resulting in the inability of the kidneys to filter waste from the blood. So when your kidneys fail, it means they have stopped working well enough for you to survive without dialysis or kidney transplant. Other problems that can cause kidney failure include autoimmune diseases such as lupus, genetic diseases such as kidney polycystic disease or polycystic kidney disease, and urinary tract problems. So that's all and thank you.